Alrighty, good evening everybody, and thank you so much for everyone who was able to come to our session today. My name is Andrew, and I will be the lead social worker facilitating the psychoeducation group on mental health, specifically for the bipolar diagnosis. So the purpose of our group is to talk about the topic of bipolar disorder, how we as members can provide support to our loved ones or any of our family members that are experiencing mental health challenges, as well as how we can support ourselves as caregivers. So before we start, I would like for everyone to introduce themselves. If you can please state your name, or if you have a preferred name that you would like for us to address you as, what you hope to get out of these sessions, and if you're comfortable, if not, that's perfectly fine as well. Who is the person in your family that is experiencing mental health challenges that you are providing support to? So if I could get a volunteer to go first.
My name is Mariana. So I'm here to learn more about the bipolar disorder. My husband, it's bipolar. So I hope to get some information so I can better help him with the disorder. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Mariana, and we're so grateful to have you here this evening. Alrighty, who would like to go next?
I can share. My name is Letty, and I'm here to try to just learn more to be able to help my brother.
Thank you so much for sharing, Letty. Who would like to go next?
I can go. My name is Caitlin, and I'm here for my sister. Probably just to get more knowledge on bipolar and how it can affect not just her, but the family also when she does go through episodes.
Alrighty, thank you for sharing, Caitlin. And if I can get the very last person to please share.
Hi, my name is Ari, and what I'm hoping to get out of this group is to just figure out how our family can work better together to support my son who is diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
It's lovely to have you share, Ari, and thank you again for all sharing. I know it can be difficult at times to share some difficult parts of our lives, but I hope that by the end of our discussions or by the end of this program, that we'll be able to create a more supportive environment. I do ask that we be respectful in this group, and what I mean by that is if somebody is sharing, if we can give them our undivided attention, as well as if whatever is mentioned in this group, if we can keep that confidential, for the purpose of we want to create a safe and we want to create a very safe and a productive environment. So we ask that whatever stories that are mentioned here, that we can keep them within our group. Are there any questions before we move forward?
No, thank you.
No questions.
Alrighty, so I do want to start off our session with our icebreaker question. So the first question I want to ask the group: what comes to mind when you hear the word stigma? And if anybody would like to share.
Like discrimination?
Yeah.
Like a negative judgment.
Okay, very good. Would anybody else like to share?
You're seen in like a different light than the rest of the world.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is there's a lot of some concepts that are connected to the idea of stigma are discrimination, or sometimes you can be seen in a different light. So when we think of the idea of stigma, we think of these negative ideas or negative perceptions that are connected to an idea or an individual. So next I want to ask another question to the group. What comes to mind when you hear the word bipolar?
I know for me it was kind of like being abnormal or just crazy, emotional.
Yeah, like what is saying, like mood swings.
Yeah, definitely have heard some of those ideas that people have thrown when it comes to the idea of somebody being bipolar. Oh, they're moody, they have these mood swings, they're crazy. But again, just like what I said before with the topic of stigma, those are negative ideas and perceptions, which does not mean that they are true. And if I can get one volunteer, if you could please read the definition that I've provided in the chat. Alrighty.
Just read it off of just from the chat.
Yes, of course.
So it says bipolar disorder, formerly called manic depressive illness or manic depression, is a mental disorder that causes unusual shifts in mood, energy, activity levels, concentration, and the ability to carry out day-to-day tasks.
Thank you for reading that, Letty. So again, this is the definition from the National Institute of Mental Health that defines bipolar disorder. And the reason I wanted us to hear that definition is because I want us to think this is the definition of bipolar, not the idea that somebody's crazy, not the idea that a person's moody, that is the definition of bipolar. This is the definition. Somebody who has a mental disorder or experiencing mental health challenges that can cause unusual shifts in mood, energy, activity levels, and again, concentration and the ability for somebody to carry out day-to-day tasks. I want us to think of this so that by understanding this, we know how we can appropriately provide that support to our loved ones.